All right, good evening. So, back here at the camper, and one downside of smaller units is smaller holding tanks. So, just wanted to go over a little bit on how I deal with longer stays in a smaller unit with smaller holding tanks. So this is our freshwater inlet here into the holding tank, and the holding tank is roughly only about a 14-gallon tank. Now with my family, we can run through that in about a day. So what do I do so that I don't have to move the rig all the time? I've got these water containers here. These are 6-gallon water jugs. And I just take those down to the hydrant here at the campground, fill them up, carry them back or haul them back, and then fill into the fill tank, the fill inlet on the tank here on the camper. When I do fill these at the hydrant, though, I do have an RV water filter and a hose that I use. So I am filtering the water so that I'm not putting just straight water unfiltered into the unit. So black tank and gray tank are also small. We've only got I think they're about 25-gallon tanks. Now the black tank usually will hold us 3 to 4 days because the black tank of course is just for the toilet. I typically myself will walk up to the shower house. It's usually Samantha and the kids that are using the toilet here, and then the water is washing hands, washing dishes. So we typically go through that in the gray tank as well in about 2 days usually is how long that lasts. So again, I don't want to move the whole rig out of here to go dump those tanks, so I had to come up with a way to deal with that as well. So here on the back of our camper, you've probably seen this receiver hitch back here on the bumper when I was talking about the water heater and putting that drain valve in. This is a home-built waste tank. This is a 55-gallon drum. It is mounted on a cargo carrier. And then I've got a plug that goes in there. I do have a tool as well. There's the plug and the tool to put that plug in and out. On the bottom side, I've just got a drain valve so I can hook up my hose and drain it. Now, 2 things I can do with this. I can take it off of here, I can put it on the back of our tow vehicle, and I can haul it out. So if I need to dump while we're staying and actually take it up to the dump station, I can do that. The other option is I can just leave it here, I can fill it, and then dump later on when I pull the rig out of here. So I'll give you kind of another shot at this. So that's all it is, 55-gallon drum strapped onto the back. So then the question is, so this of course is sitting above the bumper, the drain is below, so how do I get it in there? Well, then in comes this contraption. So this is a FlowJet emaciator pump. So it's actually a grinder. So this will actually grind up any solids, toilet paper and waste, and pump it out through a garden hose. Or you can just pump out water with it as well. This does run off a 12 volt. So what I've got is I've got a 45-degree clear angle in there. Clear because then I can actually see the liquid, because you don't want to run these pumps dry. It does have a flush out valve as well if you need it. And then I've got an orange waste hose It actually says right on it, not for drinking water use. So that's my way too of knowing this is my waste line. This is a 12-volt pump. It's got a on-off switch here. Now to power it, what I've got, I've made an adapter over to an extension cord, because then I can run a regular 120-volt extension cord. I run that up here to the front. I've got another adapter then with alligator clips on it for the battery. This allows me to utilize that extension cord for other things rather than just having a dedicated wire for this. Also allows me, if I need to run multiple extension cords. If we'd ever change units or anything and keep the pump, I could do that. So I usually have help doing this, but we're going to try this by myself tonight. Plus I'm not pumping it very far. This will actually be the first time that I've left that tank on the back end of the camper. The reason I'm doing that is, unfortunately, we're leaving tomorrow, so it's only going to sit there basically overnight, and then we're pulling the rig out of here, and I'm going to dump everything up at the dump station before we leave. So let's give it a shot. So I'll stick my hose in there first. I will want to hold on to that when I'm pumping. I am not dumping the gray tank, or the black tank tonight. I'm only dumping the gray tank. So we're gonna open this gray tank. It's gonna come down and fill with water there, like so. Let's see if I can set you guys up here somehow. So I'm holding onto the hose, and I've got the on-off switch outside of your view, but I can also see the water there coming out. So well, it must be approaching empty. So the water came down to the point where there was no water in the clear drain. I went ahead and shut it off. It did fill back up. This can pump faster than what the piping out of the waste tank can do. So then what I have to do is just a couple of times turn it on until it empties back out, and just cycle it a couple of times. Eventually I'll just call it good enough. I'll shut the valve, pump the rest of it out, and then pack it up. If there's some left in the tank, that's fine. I'll do a final drain when I pull the unit out of here. Alright, so I'll call that good enough. I'll just go ahead and shut this drain valve. And I'll do one last pump. Alright. From there, I'll just disconnect everything. I will drain the hose, lift the hose up and gravity drain it so that it drains into that tank, and pack everything up. But that's it. That's how we manage our dealing with small tanks in a small camper when we're out on extended trips. So hopefully maybe that'll help you guys out. We could have chosen to go with a larger rig, larger holding tanks. Our problem was then we'd need a larger tow vehicle. So quickly goes outside of the budget when you do that. So in this manner, we were able to use our existing tow vehicle, have a unit that met our needs, and really, how much time do you spend in the camper? At least for us, we go camping to get out. We don't go camping to sit in the RV and watch TV. Some people do. That's your prerogative. We don't. So, we spend a lot of time out. We're here, eat, sleep. That's it. So, this is what works for us. So, whatever works for you guys, I hope this helps. Maybe this will work for you, and take care.